Hello, Rory here and welcome to Léim Thart. This is the podcast where you will get everything music based. And I'm really excited because it's an exciting one today, but also it's an interesting one too. And I'm going to give you some context now. Today on Léim Thart, we're going to be hearing from one of Ireland's top singer-songwriters, Ryan McMullan. And so he has been, releasing music for almost a decade, and he's one of the most loved artists we have here in Ireland. He has opened for the likes of Ed Sheeran, Dermot Kennedy, Snow Patrol, Codaline. The list just goes on. And so what I have for you today is quite an exciting reissue of the chat that we had in summer of 2022. So this interview is a couple of years old now, and we were doing it at the time about a month-ish before his debut album Redesign was due to drop. He was on the promo campaign, he'd had a few singles out at this point, and I'd heard the rest of the album. I really enjoyed it, and honestly, he was one of the most relaxing guests I've ever had on Léim Thart. I felt very nicely rested and comfortable talking to him, and so I never forgot about that chat. But things did turn a bit. Shortly after that episode dropped, which I want to say was kind of the end of July 2022, Ryan unfortunately had to cancel the album release. This would have been sometime, I'd say, early to mid-August when he made the announcement, along with the huge tour that was going on with the album. As you will hear in the chat now, I just could not get over how many dates that he had between Ireland and the UK. I've never seen someone cover so much ground between our two countries for a tour, but Ryan was really struggling with his mental health at the time, and he needed to take a break to look after himself. So he decided to be honest and put out a statement and say, look, hang on with me for a while. I'm going to go offline for a bit, and then, I will come back. And the statement that he says now, 2.5 years later, is, having just come out of the pandemic, I wasn't ready to tour and release music again, and I think the pressure of having a lot of people who had invested in me and who were depending on me kept me from allowing myself to acknowledge the fact that I wasn't okay. For me, it was very overwhelming to be confined to your home for over a year and then be expected to come back touring as if nothing had changed. So that is referring to 2022. We're now over 2 years later, and this year, he is back and better than ever, with an Australian tour done in the spring, over the summer playing festivals like Glastonbury, Latitude, Electric Picnic, and best of all, the album Redesign is back. It's out now, actually. You can go listen to it and you can go buy it now. But that would have been, I suppose, the big goal that he was working towards, and he announced he was back over the summer on social media and said that the album was finally coming after the big long delay, the big long wait, but it's better to do it right, as he's doing now. He has just completed a nationwide intimate pub tour, which looked really, really exciting. And this month he tours both Ireland and the UK, which is sold out at every stop. I'm very sorry to tell you if you were about to go buy tickets, but fear not. He is back on tour next April with even more dates and in even bigger venues. Edinburgh, Nottingham, Manchester, London, Birmingham, Bristol, Cork, Galway, Dublin, Derry and Belfast. And some of the venues on these cities are amazing, and they're quite iconic. They're, benchmark venues like the Garage in London, you've got the Olympia in Dublin, you've got the Telegraph Building in Belfast. So tickets are available for those dates now. And as I said, you can get the album now too. You can get the CD, you can get the vinyl, you can get the streaming. And that's where Ryan McMullan is at now. So just a quick note that you can disregard the dates that I'm about to mention in the interview ahead relating to music releases or touring. But otherwise, let's learn about the debut album, Redesign. And if you like what you hear, I'd love it if you subscribed to Léim Thart on the platform that you're listening to this from. Maybe leave it a nice rating, especially if you're feeling generous. Thank you very much. Let's not wait any longer. Here is Ryan McMullan on Léim Thart.
Hey, I'm Baby Queen.
Hi, I'm Katie Beza.
Hey, this is Ryan McMullan.
Hi guys, Lara here.
Hey, I'm Jim from Koala.
Hi, I'm Astrides.
And you are listening to Léim Thart.
And you're listening to Léim Thart.
and you're listening to Léim Thart.
It's out now.
I really hope you enjoy it.
So enjoy.
Welcome on to Léim Thart. He's coming soon to a town near you. After touring with the likes of Ed Sheeran, the Coronas, Codeline, he's a steady force in Ireland with a few EPs already and the new album. Welcome, Ryan McMullan.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, I'm all right. Lovely to be talking to you.
You too.
So you've had so much going on for the last few years, and there's a lot more coming in 2022, not least to mention your first album, Redesign. It's coming soon out, 26th of August. It's been a long time coming, eh?
Yeah, we're into the final months of it now. And as you say, it has been a long time coming. It feels like it's been coming for about 22 years at this point. But no, it's exciting. It's finally here, and yeah, and we've got a huge tour to support it. So life's pretty good.
Yeah, and it's gone through a few delays as lots of artists have had, and you had a bit of rethinking to do. You redesigned it in a way, and there's just a great mixture of songs there's ones to sort of jump up and down to, but then there's slower, more pared back moments, really looking in at yourself.
Yeah, I think the idea, it was always called Redesign, and then I kind of redesigned. So the name was pretty apt, but yeah, I think to ignore the pandemic would sort of be a disservice to the album. You know, nobody wants to make a COVID album or a pandemic album, but certain songs were just hard to ignore, and I guess with the time off and the time away from other songs, I guess it just made sense to let that be a part of it and catch up and be present and relevant rather than, oh, this song was written 4 years ago. I hope you like it now.
And I think I heard Zane Lowe say I don't know, it's just a beautiful metaphor. He was talking about the pandemic and he was like, it's going to be a great harvest in terms of musicians. And so clearly you've harvested a few good things out of the time. Yeah.
Although saying that, everything that I wrote in that time, bar about 2 songs, was all pretty heavy and pretty morose. but yeah, he's definitely right. There'll be a lot to write about. I think the longer we go on and process what actually went what the fuck actually happened, I think it'll change from the depression to a bit of anger. I think there's a lot of mistakes that was made, and I think that's whenever the harvest will really come, when people decide, you know what, that was bullshit.
Absolutely. And now I've had a sneaky listen to the album.
Oh, good.
Really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed the new single because you've got a song coming out and it's Wilder. So we've had a few tasters so far. We've had Boy on the Radio, we've had Static, Flailing, Real Love, and now we have Wilder. Yeah, it's kind of one of them ones that made the list from the previous list. It's just about having a good time, really. It's essentially about being that person that's maybe too shy or maybe reserved and meeting somebody that is just larger than life, and they kind of inspire you to be a wee bit larger too. So I think we can all get on board with that. I'm sure everybody's had a date that they're kind of going, I need to up my game here if I want this to last. I wanted to get out of your shell. Yeah, pretty much. That's hilarious. I can definitely see the audience enjoying that one when it's out, and especially after you've waited for so long to release that one and a few other songs that are on the track list that you've had since before the pandemic, and not having seen sort of the audience reaction yet, in a way. I was going to say it's pretty daunting, but I suppose it is in a way, but it's also not in others. But what I mean by it being daunting is, you've had these people follow you for all these years, waiting for the album, and then you just hope that they like it. Now, if they don't like it, it's kind of like, well, I'll just write another one. But yeah, I guess trying to write things for people is sort of the wrong way to approach music anyway. But and I think so anyway. I think if you try and write a song to cater to something, you're gonna write a shit song. But yeah, I guess it's one of them things. I hope they understand where I'm at, and I hope they can take something from each song, because it's weird. They're all from experiences, hence, that kind of Wilder, which is free and fun and happy. And then you've got the likes of Flailing and Episodes where it's down. And I guess, yeah, hopefully people can take away something from each song, or
Yeah, that's the interesting part will be once it's out and people start to tell me what they think and, what songs connected and even what songs didn't.
Yeah, interesting to see I suppose what will be the favorites, because you always, before an album, you do pick a few singles and then you think, oh, they might really like this one, but usually there's at least one surprise in an album, even from following a bunch of artists that I like and seeing how people react to the album when it comes out.
Yeah, I'm the same. Whenever my favorite artists release albums, it's never the singles that you gravitate to. They're just the thing that opens the door into the house. It's what's in there is the good stuff. So yeah, hopefully I've let a few people hear the sort of full album, and there's a couple that kind of stick to pit, which I'm sort of looking to see if that works universally rather than just friends of mine going, oh, I like that one because of this. And yeah, I'm interested to see if that also sticks with people that don't know me.
For sure. Well, you're going to find out pretty soon because, as I said earlier, you've done some huge opening slots and you are going on a mammoth tour across North America. There's mainland Europe, and it's landing pretty much everywhere in the UK and Ireland from top to bottom. You've got your biggest show yet in Custom House Square, Belfast, in the end of August, 27th, right coinciding with the album. And then you've got Galway, you've got Limerick, Cork, Dublin, Dundalk, and a huge show in the Olympia on the 22nd of September. There's so many dates, and that's me just listing Ireland.
Yeah, and you know what? I remember in 2018 we did 18 shows around Ireland alone.
Wow.
And they all sold out, and it was kind of like, how did we do 18 shows in Ireland and they all sell out? You kind of go, well, if I'm playing in Limerick, maybe people from Galway will go, it was weird to see people that were at the Limerick show also be at the Galway show. It was like, wow, they're really supporting. And then, yeah, I think we kind of went that way again this time. It was like, hey, we got the album. Let's go everywhere. It doesn't matter if 20 people show up or if 2,000 people show up. It's like, let's just play it everywhere and anywhere we can. Which is exciting, but also very daunting because you have to be on the road for all that time. And as much as I love being on the road, it's okay, I suppose being off with the pandemic, it's I feel like we're coming back to 100 mile an hour straight away. It's not to 100. So I guess it's kind of making sure we do that right and not go hell for leather and come off it with an alcohol problem and overweight, and it's very easy to do on tour.
I'd imagine so. Well, it's great to see like seizing it and taking the opportunity now that we've had such a long time of pure nothing, and now that you've the chance to tour. I mean, I haven't seen a tour this extensive. I don't know if I have since things reopened. It's huge.
Yeah, it's mental. I actually, sorry, excuse me. I actually was a wee bit taken aback whenever I saw all the dates, because I was like, yeah, let's go everywhere. And then I saw all the dates and I was like, fuck, we're going everywhere.
You really are going everywhere.
So, but yeah, it's exciting too because, you can always do the shows in like your Londons and your Dublins and your Belfasts and your Glasgows and Manchesters, but going the whole way down to like Norwich or Southampton or even Wexford as opposed to just the Dublin show, I think it's kind of nice for people to go to shows closer to home where they're not having to, book a hotel away and a night away and, babysitters and all that kind of stuff. And then hopefully by coming to them sort of cities, maybe whenever you decide to do bigger shows, they go, oh yeah, we're going to the one in London this time. He came to us this time, we're going to him next time. That's the kind of hope anyway. You get to go there and entice them to become fans and stick around.
Dead right. And with all these shows, like, what are people in for sure?
It's a strange one because, sorry, excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. I feel like I've had this frog in my throat for since the start of the pandemic. It's a strange one because some of the shows are to 5,000 people and other shows are to like, I think the smallest room is 150 people. So trying to translate a show from that size, from the biggest to the smallest, will be a challenge for sure. But you could. This is where my head goes. I don't really know whether to give them the full show because you shouldn't treat them any differently in the smaller room, or do you give them a special show that hey, there's only 150 people here. Let's do something just for you. And I think, you know, the only way to really do that is to do the shows. I think that's something that you learn as you're going. To make that decision now would be strange, because you don't even know the shape of the room, the size of the room, the equipment they have, you know. So yeah, it's I guess it's all up to whatever happens on the day. But it'll be brilliant well, I'll be putting as much as I can into whatever the show is, because even though the shows may be different sizes, I'm pretty sure all the tickets are the same price. And, you know, I don't think it's fair for someone to pay the same price and get a substandard show. So I'll be there 100%.
You'll be there 100%. You'll be all over the place, going across Ireland, across the UK, with huge shows in Dublin, the Olympia, 22nd September, Custom Square, Belfast, 27th of August. The album Redesign is out on the 26th of August. Thank you so much, Ryan McMullan, for coming on to Léim Thart to talk to me all about it.
Oh, cheers. Thanks for having me.